Hello and welcome to Crypto News. Today is the August 20, 2026, and the top crypto news is as follows. For anyone wondering about the timing, let me tell you that the computer got a blue screen of death, but thankfully I had already finished recording the episode before that happened, dear audience. Moving on with our episode, we will of course start with the price of Bitcoin, which saw this massive candlestick that brought the price up to $70,000. And as you can see, we stopped just before breaking above this resistance level here. Naturally, this enormous surge to $70,000 is the steepest rise Bitcoin has made in the last 5 months. Dear audience, liquidations have also caught fire, reaching $2.74 billion in the last 24 hours. All of them are short liquidations, which, as I told you, helped the price rise so steeply because there was nothing pushing the price downward. And naturally, with Bitcoin rising so sharply, almost everyone in the crypto market is happy. Ethereum is up 19%. All coins are rising, and Hyperliquid is up 22% on the 7-day chart. But for Hyperliquid, we also have news that helped it rise so much. Let me also say that beyond the crypto market, stocks related to crypto, such as Coinbase and Strategy shares, have also risen alongside Bitcoin. All of this happened because President Trump is calling on Congress to pass the fair version of the Clarity Act at the Cryptocurrency Summit at the White House. Specifically, Trump's comments came ahead of the opening session of the Commodity Futures Trading Commission's Innovation Advisory Committee on the 5th. The CFTC chairman, the Securities and Exchange Commission chairman, and the White House crypto advisor all participated alongside Trump in this session. So with this comment, President Trump managed to make the crypto market very happy, as he is pushing for the Clarity Bill to pass within 2026. As you can understand, regarding this particular meeting, members from Coinbase, Gemini, Ripple, and Chainalysis were present and represented the crypto market at this event. Additionally, the Banking Committee chairman stated at a conference on the 3rd that the bill has a good chance of passing in September. An online vote has been scheduled for September 15th, giving lawmakers a few weeks to work through disagreements regarding crypto asset rewards, decentralized finance, and the ethics clause. Beyond the Clarity Bill, which the President of the United States is pushing to pass, we also have other good news on the legislative front. We turn to the CRYPTONEWS Act, which is the legislation covering stablecoins, and things appear to be moving forward there as well, since the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency is moving toward finalizing rules by November to implement a stablecoin law that President Trump has already signed. Let me note that the banking regulator received comments and made changes to the original proposal, meaning we are very close to it becoming law, as you can understand, dear audience. One last thing that helped the market significantly is that there is liquidity entering the system, generally speaking, due to an expansion of the U.S. Treasury bond buyback program. The U.S. Treasury Department announced that it is at least doubling the size of its liquidity repurchase operations for nominal coupon securities, with long-term maturities ranging from 10 years to 20 years and from 20 years to 30 years. The current maximum size of $2 billion per operation will be raised to at least $4 billion per operation. This change takes effect on September 9th and will apply for the remainder of this quarter from the payment date through November 4th. So as I said, additional money is entering the system. All of these developments, with the most significant being the President of the United States calling for a vote on clarity, are what helped Bitcoin rise so much and so steeply. Dear audience, that is at least based on the news we have at this moment. Tomorrow I may be able to add something further. Continuing with our news, because we have more to cover, we move to Injective, which is being registered with the SEC, no less. Let me say that Injective has become registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission through its subsidiary, Injective Institutional Services, marking a significant step in the blockchain's effort to become a regulated securities infrastructure on the internet. All of this relates to tokenization, naturally. With this move, Injective becomes the first layer 1 blockchain to have real-world asset infrastructure and the regulatory readiness required to accelerate token creation to new heights. So in simpler terms, Injective has brought tokenization and real-world assets legally into the United States. Most others using these tools are still in a gray area because the legislation does not yet exist. But Injective has registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission. So theoretically, it brings them in legally. And for the last major piece of news of the day, we go to Hyperliquid, which, as I mentioned at the start of the episode, has news beyond just the Bitcoin rally. Let me say it was up 25% on the daily chart. The first positive piece of news comes again from the President of the United States, who says the Commodity Futures Trading Commission is working to bring Hyperliquid to America. Specifically, President Trump stated, "I understand the CFTC chairman is also working to bring Hyperliquid to the United States in a fully compliant and legal way. Working very hard on this," Trump said. So just those words alone, as you can understand, can make Hyperliquid very happy. But I have another piece of news coming from Coinbase, which is bringing 50 times leverage on perpetuals on Base, powered by Hyperliquid. Specifically, Coinbase announced on the 4th that it is bringing leveraged perpetual derivatives to the Base app, allowing selected users for now to trade perpetual contracts with leverage of up to 50 times through Hyperliquid. The integration gives users access to more than 290 perpetual futures markets, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, and equities. So that is good news for Hyperliquid, as you can understand. That wraps up the top news for crypto today. Is the August 20, 2026. I'd like to remind you that the content you just watched is created for educational purposes only, and should not be considered as investment advice, but rather as investment opinion. Please subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and feel free to comment. Take care, everyone, and have a good day.